Hello students, welcome to the second session for 11th standard science, that is chapter number 3, the plant kingdom. Now, up till now we have discussed very well about the algae and its three major groups, that is the chlorophycia, the rhodophycia and the phaeophycia. Well, today our main focus of attention is in one more major group, that is the bryophytes, and its two major subgroups, that is the liverworts and the mosses. So let us understand in much detail of it.
Now, bryophytes are said to be the first land plants. They are exclusively amphibians of the plant kingdom, found in both the land as well as in case of the water. Focusing on the general features of it. Well, the plant body is basically thallus, that is, without any differentiation into root, stems, and the leaves. So, such kind of the plant body where it is not possible for us to differentiate between the roots, the stems, and the leaf. So, it is said to be the thallus, and such a kind of organization is said to be the thallus organization, and such a structure of the plant body is said to be the thalloid structure. Furthermore, the thalli are basically attached to a base, and such a base is the substratum with the help of root-like structures known as the rhizoids. So here in the diagram we observe very well certain root-like structures. They are not the true roots, but they are the false roots. So therefore they are said to be the rhizoids. Furthermore, these bryophytes, they are exclusively autotrophic in nature. They have the chlorophyll content, so as a result of which they prepare their own food. So therefore they are said to be the autotrophic in nature. So these are the first three basic characteristics, that is the plant body is the thallus and attached to the base, and they are autotrophs. Furthermore, they are non-vascular plants, means the vascular bundles, that is the xylem and the phloem, they are absent in them. So now as they are absent, so the conduction of water is not required to a long height. Furthermore, the plant body, that is the thallus, it is gametophytic, that is which contains the sex organs. And as it is the gametophytic, there N is written in the bracket. N means the haploid type of the gametes are produced. So here in the structure we can observe very well the antheridial branch, that is the male branch, and the archegonial branch, that is the female branch. Furthermore, the thalli are monoecious or the dioecious, that is the present means both the sexes are present in case of the one plant, as here we can observe very well the male and the female, or it can be present in case of the different branches, as in case of the Mercantia. Well, the sex organs, they are multicellular and they are jacketed. Jacketed means they are mainly surrounded by a group of cells. Furthermore, moving on to the other basic characteristics of it. So here we can observe very well the antheridium, which is surrounded by a jacket of the cells. The male sex organ is the antheridium and the female is the archegonium. Both the structures we can see very well, that is the antheridium and the archegonium, which are mainly surrounded by the jacket of the cells. Furthermore, the sperms are produced in case of the antheridium and the eggs are produced in case of the archegonium. So the male sex organ, that is the antheridium, and the female sex organ, that is the archegonium, which produces the respective gametes. The sperms are always biflagellate. Bi means two. So they have two flagellae. These two flagellae may be same or they may be different also. Furthermore, this archegonium has 6 vertical rows of the neck cells. Here we can observe very well the neck. and these are nothing but the neck cells, and water is essential for the fertilization. It is highlighted, so water is exclusively necessary for the purpose of the fertilization. So these are the basic characteristics of the group and the major ones in case of the plant kingdom, that is the bryophytes. Well, moving on to the other aspects of it. After fertilization, a diploid zygote is formed within the venter of an archegonium. Here we can observe very well the venter, that is the cell just outside the egg cell. So here it is basically located. So the diploid zygote is formed within the venter. Furthermore, the zygote, the 2N type, that is the diploid type, does not undergo resting periods and divides by mitotic division to form multicellular embryo that develops into a sporophyte. So the gametophyte later on forms zygote, and that zygote further forms the embryo that later on develops into the sporophyte. So, and this sporophyte is mostly divided into the three basic structures: the foot, the seta, and the capsule. Well, in the adjacent diagram, if we zoom it out and observe it out very carefully, we can observe the three basic structures: the capsule, the seta, and the rhizoids, having the sporophyte and the gametophyte differentiation. So these are the basic locations, the basic structures of a typical bryophyte, having the gametophyte as well as the sporophytic structures. Inside the capsule, the spore mother cell, it undergoes meiosis. Meiosis means from one cell that undergoes division to produce 4 cells to form haploid spores. So here in this structure, the haploid spores are basically generated, and which further on shows homospory. Homospory means the spores are basically similar in case of the size. So from the gametophyte, the spores are generated. These spores they ultimately germinate and develop into the gametophytic thallus. So mainly we have started from the gametophyte, and then gametophytic stages they have led to the spores, and then that spores further gave rise to the gametophytic thallus. The adult sporophyte is always dependent on the gametophyte. So from the sporophyte, from the gametophyte, the sporophyte structure is exclusively generated. So therefore it is said that yes, the adult sporophyte is always dependent on the gametophyte. Here we can observe very well the gametophyte and the sporophyte structure that is there. Furthermore, the gametophytic phase starts from a haploid spores and continues up to the formation of the gametes. So up to the formation of the gametes, the process will keep on going, and these spores are basically haploid in nature. So from the gametophytes, we have started with the spores, and then these spores further on continue to form the gametes. So likewise, the formation of the various reproductive structures basically takes place in case of the bryophytes. Furthermore, the sporophytic phase starts from the diploid zygote to the spore mother cell. The spore mother cell is also said to be the SMC, and this SMC further undergoes a lot of divisions. So as there are two phases, it is said to be the alternation of generation, the sporophytic stage as well as the gametophytic stage. So therefore it is said to be alternation of generation. So focusing on the alternation of the generation, what is it and how it basically takes place? So this is the entire structure of the diploid and the haploid structure. Focusing on the first one, and the second one. On one phase, the meiosis means the meiosis, and on the other side, the mitosis. So the spores which are mainly there, they undergo mitosis to produce the male and the female gametophyte spores, which later on forms the male gametophyte and the female gametophyte, which are basically haploid in nature. Further on, they found, or they have the respective structures, that is the male and the female ones, the sperms and the egg cells. So, and water is the typical medium for the transport of such gametes. And these gametes, they ultimately fuse together with the formation of a typical structure. That is, the fertilization takes place and the formation of the embryo occurs. That is mainly diploid in nature, that is the 2N. Now this embryo undergoes further divisions, that is the meiosis, and forms the sporophyte stage. That is, from the gametophytic stage, the sporophytic stage is generated, and later on from the sporophyte through the meiosis, the spores are basically produced. So as the gametophyte and the sporophyte both take part in this entire process, so therefore it is said to be the alternation of the generation. So one generation will be produced by means of the spores, and one generation will be produced by means of the gametes. So therefore it is said to be the alternation of the generations. And these spores are basically spread out by means of the water, wind, or the insects also. So here is the haploid and here is the diploid gametophytic stage. So haploid gametophyte and the diploid sporophytic stages. Furthermore, these bryophytes are further categorized into the two major groups. And these groups, they have a huge role to play in the proper distinction of the bryophytes. The first one is the liverworts. Now the plant body in case of liverwort is a thalloid plant body that we have discussed very well. That is, no differentiation of root stems and leaves. And this thallus is dorsiventral in nature. Dorsiventral, basically they are slightly flat in nature, having a raised structure, and the gamma cups with the typical rhizoids like structures. That is the roots, not the true roots but the false roots. Furthermore, they have the asexual reproduction, that is, they undergo reproduction by means of the asexual means, that is, by means of the fragmentation. In 10th standard, you might have heard about the word fragmentation, that is, the body divides itself into the small fragments which ultimately fall down and gives rise to a new individual. Furthermore, there are specialized structures called the gammae, which are green multicellular asexual buds, and the gamma cups or the gemma cups located on the thalli. Here we can observe very well the gamma and the gamma cups. Here also we can observe how the structure of the gamma cups basically looks like, and how it has a huge role to play in the formation of the new individual. That is, it helps in case of the asexual reproduction in case of the liverworts. Furthermore, as we have discussed very well, so by the fragmentation and with the help of the gamma, and they undergo the sexual reproduction, and as they undergo sexual reproduction, they have the male and the female sex organs. As we have discussed very well, the archegoniophore, and this structure is the structure which helps in case of the sexual reproduction in case of the liverworts. Furthermore, and here the antheridia, that is the anthridiophore and the archegoniophore. So these are the two basic structures which help in the asexual, or I should say the sexual reproduction in case of the liverworts. Now either they are present on the same or in the form of different thalli also. They show the sporophytic stage, and as we have discussed very well, the three basic structures, that is the foot, the seta and the capsules. These spores are produced within the capsule. So the spores ultimately can germinate to form free living gametophytes. So from the gametophytes, the spores are generated, and these spores they further produce the gametophytes. The next major group is the mosses. Now these mosses, or in these mosses, the gametophyte mainly consists of the two basic stages. The first stage is the protonema stage, which is a creeping green branch and frequently filamentous stage. Here in the diagram we can easily observe it out how it is a creeping structure. Directly form a spore, means directly arising from a spore. The second stage is a leafy stage, which develops from a secondary protonema. Here we can see very well how the leaves have arise from a secondary protonema. Initially the branch structures, and later on the development of the leaf-like structures ultimately takes place. Furthermore, it also consists of the few major structures, that is an upright structures, and the spirally arranged leaves are also there. The upright slender axis which bends on later on, forming the capsule, the seta, and later on bearing the spirally arranged leaves. They are attached to the soil through multicellular and branch rhizoids. Here we have discussed very well, that is, they do not have the true roots, but they have the false roots known as the rhizoids. And through these rhizoids, the absorption of the useful substances they basically takes place, as they have root-like properties. Furthermore, this stage bears the sex organs. There is a male sex organ and the female sex organ also. They also undergo vegetative reproduction, that is fragmentation and budding in case of the secondary protonema. As well as it undergoes the sexual reproduction by the Antheridia and the Archegonia. Antheridia, that is the male one, and Archegonia, that is a female. These Antheridia and the Archegonia are produced at the apex of the leafy shoots, and after the fertilization, zygote develops into the sporophytic structure. Furthermore, they produce the sporophyte, and this sporophyte having the three basic structures, the foot, the seta and the capsule. The more elaborate than that of the liverwort. So the description and the structure of it, if you observe very well, they are far more elaborated than in case of the liverworts. And the capsule contains a lot of spores which are useful for the purpose of the reproduction. And these spores are formed after meiosis, where one cell undergoes division to produce 4 cells. An elaborate mechanism of the spore dispersal is also there in case of the mosses. And few of the basic examples are Funaria, the Polytrichum and the Sphagnum. So that is the entire thing about the bryophytes.
So that was the entire thing in relation to the bryophytes and its two major groups, that is the liverworts and the mosses. Well, in the next class we shall discuss in much detail with one more new and exciting group of the plant kingdom. Thank you very much.